If there are people who rig the election, sadly, it's not Tinubu. The people who rig the election were P2P and others. So in Nigeria, we won election on Muslim tickets. Muslims in Nigeria did not sit in one place and sat with President Ahmed Bola Tinubu and Yerima Shetima and others who put up a ticket. It is they who put up the ticket and sold it to us, and we won the election fair and square. We won this election fair and square. Muslim ticket. We won the election fair and square. I've said it over and over. Tinubu was the underdog in that election. And anybody who is denying it, if there are people who rig the election, sadly it's not Tinubu. The people who rig the election were P2P and others, where they were scoring outrageous figures that Nigeria had never witnessed, 90-something percent, 80-something percent. Tinubu lost Osho. Tinubu lost Lagos. Tinubu lost Katsina. He lost Plateau. His campaign manager's local state lost it along. And Tinubu lost Kaduna and Rufai State. So where did Tinubu actually rig the election that he won? Where did he rig the election? If he lost Lagos, his own, lost Ocho, his own, lost Katsina, the home of the president, lost Kaduna, lost Plateau, lost the home of the national chairman of the party, Nasarawa. So if the national chairman of the party was not able to rig the election, the national secretary of the party was not able to rig the election for him, he cannot rig where he had a state governor in Lagos. He cannot rig Osun. He cannot rig where his campaign DG comes from. Where else will they be more powerful with enough money to rig election? If in all these places where the sitting president cannot rig election for him as an APC president, where did Tinubu rig the election? You see, in Nigeria, people like us don't follow the bandwagon. We don't follow the crowd. We tell the truth the way it is, and we stand by the truth. Tinubu won the election because Nigerians supported Muslim tickets. The story is not the other way around. We will not be blackmailed to accept otherwise. We will not be blackmailed to accept otherwise. Never. Election is a game of numbers. Election is a game of commitment. Election is a game of number. Election is a game of commitment. We were committed in seeing a Muslim ticket win election, and we did. We achieved it. We're not apologetic about it. It is now up to the presidency to show Muslim whether the Muslim ticket had been to the advantage of Muslims. Our support for Muslim ticket, our standing firm on Muslim ticket, had endangered the life of Muslims. As the presidency shown sympathy on us, and the president sided with us as we stood by the presidency. In those days, when even the sitting government was against the president, they did not accept the Muslim ticket. The ordinary Muslims on the street of Kano, in Kaduna, in Maiduguri, in Sokoto, in Ibadan, in Lagos, made the sacrifices for which we are paying bitterly today. Let the presidency not be deceived by anybody. Let no foreign country make the presidency believe that they can dictate to Muslim here. They can never dictate to us. They can never dictate to us. Never dictate to us. If anybody thinks that the Muslims of this country are afraid of mad, sick Donald Trump, okay, let them see what will happen. The Muslims of this country are not afraid of him. I will stand firmly and defend our rights. It's sad how people can think that they can ride over us. You cannot ride over us. So they are putting this government on a very difficult position. Our democracy should be allowed to strive within democratic tenets. We must follow the rules. The rule says majority will win. Let us go into the election and let majority win. We will not ponder to blackmail. We will not be persuaded. People cannot criminalize us. It's within our right. You cannot criminalize us. Call on all sorts of names. Where? Where? In which part of the world? In which part of Nigeria that Sharia had been used to kill Christians? Where in this country, let them tell us where Sharia had been used in killing Christians? If there is any genocide in this country, the genocide against Muslims is happening in Igbo land. It is being preached in Igbo land. It is being spread in Igbo land. And look, let me tell you people, if you talk, you take vulnerable people. Don't, for me and you know that if you bring your nonsense, I will keep it down for you. That your nonsense that you be arguing, and I do everywhere, bring it down for you. Muslims have not made their position very clear. And I think Muslims are going to make their position very clear. Because Muslims all over Nigeria will gather. And when we make our position very clear on the issue leading to 2007, we will see who will blink first. We will not accept your insult. If there are any criminals around, you are the criminals. Every day on social media, we see how criminal, evil, immoral you people are. You have the temerity to come and talk to us, compare yourself to us. How? You are living in thatch houses and you are playing with fire. Eh? You people are living in thatch houses and you are playing with fire. You are putting this government in a very difficult place. The unity of Nigerian Muslims is a very difficulty for any government to test the resolve of the Muslims. And that's what is going to happen. That's what it's leading to. Because the more you think that Trump can make us to be afraid, the more you bring us together. I wish that this government will not allow us to go through that part. It's a very dangerous part. We have done nothing against you. You piled up lies against us. You ordered to take our life. You preach that our life should be taken. You support a foreign government a foreign individual to come in to murder us, to commit genocide against us, to bomb us. The only crime we committed is that we are Muslim. The only crime we committed is that we said La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. That's the only crime we committed. That you encourage us to be killed. You encourage us to be murdered. Why? What crime have we committed against you? You talk about bandits. Have you visited the eastern part of this country? The atrocities being committed by your fellow people against yourself and against Muslims. Have you visited Benue? Majority of the people carrying out these activities that they are calling Muslims are not even Muslim, are your own people. You can decide to run away from the truth. Let me tell you one thing. The sincerity of Muslim leaders and their commitment to change the security narrative in this country. I was one of the greatest critics of Muhammad Buhari. The greatest critic, and everybody knows that. For the president, Muhammad Buhari, to speak directly with me, to engage my services, to fight insurgency in Niger. Niger is in the north, in Plateau, and in Abuja. Everything, the president said, and I quote him, everything he needs to accomplish this task, give it to him. And we were successful in Abuja, we are successful on Kaduna Road, we are successful in Niger, we are successful to a certain extent in Plateau State. Buhari that ought not to look my way was the person who provided this thing for us to clear that road. So, who are the people who are opposed to us? The people who are now saying that they want to fight insurgency. Hey, the Nigerian military, the Nigerian who has the capacity to engage these bandits and terrorists and have been successful in engaging them without killing innocent people, without affecting the civilian population. These individuals who are now being used that we are opposed to it, but these individuals are accepting a foreign power, a foreign individual to invade our country and carry out indiscriminate bombing. Indiscriminate bombing and killing of our people. So we should ask ourselves, a northern Muslim who is seen as a radical Muslim and employed the services of one of his greatest critics and asked him if he can do it, provide him with everything he needs. And at that time, we were provided with everything we need. Today, people are holding back, holding back, holding back. Before you get anything, they are trying to hold back. So who are the people advising the president? Are they interested in fighting the insurgency? The coming of the foreign power had divided Nigeria. The coming of Donald Trump and his aid for Islam had divided the country. Muslim, Christian, had divided the country. Muslim, Christians, and taking us to a dangerous level. A war that America can never win and will never win. And taking us to a dangerous level. And endangering the presidency of Ahmed Bola Tinubu. And these same people are telling the president nothing will happen. We'll do this. You will do this where? Where are you going to do it? We'll do this. We'll do this. Where are you going to do it? You think that the Muslims will sit idly by and you do what you will do. It's not possible. What is brewing in the north, the demonstration that is coming up in the north will be washed off. If we do not stop it now, yes, these bandits ravage Muslims. It has become obvious that these people are killing more Muslims than any other faith. So your lie had become very obvious. Donald Trump's lie had become very obvious. But okay. You want to continue to sell your lies, not against the Muslims of this country. That I assure you. The greatest problem is that Yoruba Muslims, you have threatened Yoruba Muslims, you have threatened Igbo Muslims, and we are all Ijaw Muslims, we are all coming together on the platform of La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah. If you make us to reach that point, you will cry as you've never cried before. I've told you before. You will cry as you've never cried before. This uncle then started something. How did he end up? 3-1, it became 6-6. 12. Murtala Muhammad Tinker. How did it end up? 19. 9-10. Today is 17-20. Today, there is no resource control. A country that was operating a federal constitution had turned to a crude, primitive unitary state because of the stupidity of a few people at the expense of the generality of our people. Without any consultation, they acted as if they were acting on our behalf. And this is where we are today. This is where we are today. And you want to start that today in a more dangerous part, more perilous part. Wallahi, I'm telling you, you will cry as you've never cried before at the end of this. Because for the first time in the history, you have antagonized, frightened, criminalized, demonized all Muslims. And since we are not ready to give up our faith, the only option left for us is for us to come together and fight. And that we will do. It will not be war, because you can't fight war. You only run your mouth. It will not be war, because the United States of America will not help you. The way they ran from Afghanistan, the way they ran from the Korea, the way they ran from Vietnam, they will abandon you and run. In America, there, every city in America, there is a demonstration against what has happened in Venezuela. Yesterday, I was watching demonstration in all the cities of the United States of America. Yesterday, I was listening to Senator Sanders. How can they compare themselves to the intelligence and the brilliance of Senator Sanders? Massive demonstration all over the United States of America. And these people now talk, hey, you see, some people, they want to be slaves, so they took the chains, put it on their neck and on their feet and their hands. Willfully. Nobody asked them to. That's what they want to turn Nigeria into. The people of the day, his own people, are calling him a dictator, are calling him a sick person, are calling him a failure. And then ignoramus, ni compus, very low intelligence, are celebrating him here. What's the agenda in Venezuela? They are preparing another war. Venezuela is just a precursor. Venezuela is just a precursor. Why? They want to take Venezuela oil. The Satan Yahoo and Donald Trump want to take Venezuela oil and then use it as a reserve when Iran finally closed the Strait of Hormuz because of the war they want to impose on Iran. Because of that, they must take Venezuela first, take hand, put hold on Venezuela. I do not agree. I do not see anything wrong with Maduro because what has happened is not about Mandora. What has happened is not about Mandora. What has happened is excruciating sanction put in place against the Venezuelan government for over 20 years. The same thing did to Iran. Over 45 years of excruciating, biting, wicked, satanic sanctions. And then these people have survived and have become the hope of the downtrodden people of this world. Clearly shows that there's a limit to how you can push it. They push and push and push. So what they are trying to do is to have free flow of oil from Venezuela under their control, which they want to take over and govern, and then go to war with Iran. If Iran like, let them close everywhere so that they can have a free way. The outcome of what will happen in Iran, they don't know. But let us hope that that war did not start. In the 12-day war, they underestimated Iran and what Iran taught them. You know, Iran have these practice of strategic patience where they hold back. They hold back after all the pains, after the humiliation. Not many people will be able to do that. They just lifted the veil a little like this in the 12th day. And the world saw the tolo tolo, the nyach of tolo tolo. The world saw it. Eh? Tolo tolo nyach. The world saw the tolo tolo nyach. They just lifted the veil a little. Let us pray that we don't go into that sort of war. That is what is happening. So Nigeria, Trump can do this, Trump can do this. Like I told you, when somebody as mad as Trump decides, all of you are upset. When a madman like Trump suffers, which the world do not need now, Trump madness will be cured by force. Nigerians do not need to import wars that do not concern us. There is no basis to import these wars into Nigeria. There is no basis to import these wars into Nigeria. It is time for us to know that Trump cannot do anything to help you. But if you choose to follow Trump in his war against your fellow citizens, your fellow black people, let's talk about Nigeria, that he should come and kill us, then you'll be shocked what Trump and you will meet when you arrive.